Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have with us here this evening senior representation from Papua New Guinea, in whose waters AE1 now rests. And it's my particular pleasure to invite the Honourable Rimbink Pato, OBE, MP and Minister for Foreign Affairs and Trade of Papua New Guinea to say a few words. Please welcome Minister Pato.
Thank you, Kevin. The Honourable Maurice Payne, the Australian Minister for Defence, the Honourable Jelta Wong, the Papua New Guinea Minister for Police, the Honourable Stuart Ayres, Member of the New South Wales Parliament and Minister for Western Sydney, Peter Dexter, Chairman of the National Museum, Vice Admiral Timothy Barrett, Peter Briggs, my dear friend Nick Julius Valers, President of the Papua New Guinea Trustees of the National Museum and Art Gallery, the descendants of the families of the AE1, representatives of the British government through the British Embassy here in Australia, High Commission here in Australia, and also to the Defence Attaché for New Zealand, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I extend my condolences to all of you, the descendants of those who perished in HMAS AE1. And may I also offer on this occasion the condolences of the people of Papua New Guinea and the government of Papua New Guinea to Australia, who's been a close friend, a constant supporter, and our neighbor. And at the same time, may I also pass our condolences to our Commonwealth brothers, Great Britain and New Zealand. The deaths of this young man symbolizes the tragedies of war. What great expectation were the families would have had. They would have expected them to return home, lively, young, vibrant men. A nation rightfully mourns those that have lost their young in war. What contributions would each of these 35 men would have met but for the disaster on the 14th of September 1914 in the areas of arts, sciences, agriculture, and in the development of policies which would have gone to eliminate the consequences and the curse of war. It takes courage to be a warrior and to be an officer, particularly in the submarine. Because at the time when these young men chose to go out to be officers in the submarine during wartime, that was the time in which the technology was its infancy. So we must pay tribute for the bravery that they were able to sustain in taking the decision they did to defend us so that we can have the life and the peace and the prosperity we enjoy today. It is proper that we must remember them for when they went out to war on our behalf, they believed that they were doing what was right. This area of the tragedy is particularly close to me because my wife is from the area nearby and I have a home nearby as well. And that was the reason also that I took on the step to send a note when the discovery was made to the Honourable the Foreign Minister of Australia that PNG shared in the grief and in the excitement and the future of the discovery in terms of our partnership. This place where the submarine had met the tragedy is a place of wonder on the sea above and beneath. It is one of the most spectacular and exotic locations of the world. And we consider the young men as our own. We will do what we can, and Papua New Guinea will pledge to honor these young men as we move forward, because this was the First World War. In the Second World War, of course, as we all know of the Kokoda Track, so many young men and women from this great nation lost their lives on our land, and we pay tribute to Australia, and we will work together to ensure that there is a lasting memory that will fit the relationship that we have into the future. Thank you very much.